live. I know you can't see me. Power went out, so excuse that. Um, Yankee, and you know what? Honestly, it's fitting that my power went out because that's exactly what happened to the Yankees tonight. Yankees lose 3-1 to the Red Sox, and to be honest with you, I said it in my preview that I did earlier. You can check it out. I said this would come down to bullpen. I said it. I literally was saying as long as Max Fried can give us 5 to 6 good innings, we got to rely on our bullpen afterwards and shut down the Red Sox. Max Fried was dealing today, so but even better than him was was Crochet. Crochet was dominant tonight. The Yankees couldn't hit him outside of Volpe, who hit that beautiful home run. He needed that. But if we're being honest, this game was lost once the Yankees bullpen came in. I know we couldn't get a hit to save our life tonight. We couldn't touch Crochet. Like we literally just couldn't touch him. Um, I mean, we had a few opportunities. We had, obviously the ninth inning debacle that was insane. And I'm not gonna go too much in on Stanton only because like he's come through for us so many times. But he needed to hit that ball. He you can't strike out in that situation. But honestly, Aaron Boone, I don't know honestly, I don't know what his obsession with Luke Weaver is. I don't know what his obsession with relying on the analytics that says, hey, your pitcher can't go past 6 innings or 100 pitches. Like, if you got a guy that's dealing, you stick with him. You stick with him. That's it. You don't say, oh, well, you know, hey guys, he's getting up to 100 pitches. Let's bring the bullpen. Like, no. You visit the mound. You say, hey, listen, I got a plan, but are you good? And then he's going to say yes because he wants to stay in the game. You keep him in till he starts struggling. And see, this is yet another example of why it's so frustrating being a Yankees fan with Aaron Boone as your manager because you know he's going to pull his starter after 5 innings, 6 innings. You know it. It's like baked in. It's guaranteed. It is literally guaranteed. If you're betting Yankee starters to go 5+ innings, yo, bet the under. Bet the under because they're not making it. Like, like I don't understand. Max Fried could have been throwing a no hitter, which he almost did. He had 6 scoreless innings. We was up 1-0, and then Aaron Boone pulls in for Luke Weaver, who has been awful this year. He immediately walked a guy. Then he had a double hit off of him, and then a 2-run single right afterwards. Like it literally changed the game. That one decision. And Aaron Boone can talk about, oh, we're gonna be ready, we're gonna be ready. Bullshit. I don't want to hear that. You weren't ready today. You were not ready to face the Red Sox. And I'm listening to WFAN, and I'm not sponsored by them or anything like that. I don't work for them, you know, but I was listening to all the callers, and I was listening to people talk, and I was listening to the guy McPherson, who I love. He's awesome. Shout out to him. But like this game was won and lost with the bullpen. And I said it before the game, and I'm standing by it. Aaron Boone's gonna cost us the World Series, a World Series run. He's gonna do it. He, for whatever reason, relies so heavily. He and ownership, the front office, because they're all in this together in terms of coming up with the bullpen, the lineup. It's all run by analytics. You know, and it's like at some point, and maybe this is a conversation for the off season. God forbid we lose the series, but like, when is enough with this analytics shit in terms of not relying on it? You can use it as a suggestion and say, "Hey, this is what I think." But like, you look across what Alex Cora was doing. He kept Crochet in because Crochet was dealing. We couldn't get a hit off of him. Like once he settled down, that was it. And yeah, it was a matchup thing, lefty versus righty, because the Yankees are predominantly a right-handed team. So you favor that and you factor that in. But Alex Cora showed Aaron Boone how to manage a game. It's not take your starter out because a guy has 100 pitches and that's our deadline. Like no, I don't care if he has. I don't care if he has 110 pitches. If he's dealing, I'm going with him. This is the postseason. This is the postseason. You're not. This isn't game 55 against fucking Cleveland. And no disrespect to them, but like or the Rays or whatever, where it's like okay, we get it. You're on 3, 4, 5 days rest. I get it. But this is the postseason. This is the postseason. It is win or go home. And right now, we are 2 games from going home. We are two, like, where's the sense of urgency? Where's the, hey, man, listen, I know we was doing this, but F that. My guy's dealing. I'm not pulling him. And I guarantee you, I can promise you this. I can promise you this, right? When your coach, your manager, somebody above you makes a decision that you don't agree with and it backfires, I promise you, guys talk about that. They don't like it. Jazz, listen, I don't blame Jazz for being pissed off tonight, but like, that doesn't help us either, his attitude. But I understand it. I understand why he's frustrated, you know. But you got like Aaron Boone, I don't know what it is with his obsession with pulling guys when they're dealing. Like, it's almost like you don't want to win. It's almost sabotage. That's how it feels. That's how it looks. Like, Max Fried had 102 pitches. Okay, he was dealing. And he was like, dude, he was cooking, bro. 6 scoreless innings. The Red Sox couldn't hit him. Crochet, he was dealing after the Volpe home run. He was crushing it. This was a pitcher's duel, and Alex Cora showed you have faith in your pitcher. And I hate giving credit to the fucking Red Sox. Excuse my language, but I can't. I can't deal with this. We cannot lose this game today. We cannot lose this game. If we lose this game, the series is over. I don't care if the Yankees, win game 3 and, maybe tie. Like, no, it's over. Like, it's best of 3. It's done. It's over. We have to win today. And you know what? I said before the game, right? When I went live before the game, I said the biggest factor in this series was going to be bullpen and, bullpen, Aaron Judge, and Volpe, right? I said Stanton would have to get hot and we'd have to have a couple breaks. Now Volpe did his job. Volpe hit the home run, and that was needed for him personally. That was almost like redemption for him. Like, hey guys, listen, you can trust me to show up, right? Judge, I, you know, he didn't do it tonight. I'm not blaming him, but he didn't do it tonight. Stanton, same thing, didn't do it tonight. And where was Ben Rice? Why wasn't Rice in the game at all? Like, he's been one of your best hitters this season, especially down the stretch, and you don't play him because of matchup? Like, no, I don't want to hear that. Aaron Boone is going to cost this team. He's good enough to get you there, but he's going to cost you. And I know he's a good guy. I know he's a Yankee, legend, so to speak. I know he's a player's manager, and that's cool. But he relies solely on analytics, and it's bothering me because again, where's your feel for the game? You know your guy's dealing. You go up to him and you say, "Listen, can you go another inning? I got guys waiting, but can you go another inning?" Yes, I can go. All right, cool. And that's how that conversation goes. It's not, "Hey man, listen, I picked you at 100 pitches. That's it." He could have had a no hitter and gotten pulled. We've seen that. And this is like, and honestly, this is a baseball problem. Honestly, I don't want to get too much into it. That's for the off season, but Like this whole thing about pulling guys and, you know, not letting them finish games when they're dealing or taking a guy out because you think, well, the matchup says this. Like, listen, that's on paper, that's on a computer. In real life, matchups matter, yes. But if you know a guy is dealing as a pitcher, you leave him in until he can't do it no more. Now, listen, if Freed came out in the seventh inning and, you know, gave up a home run, gave up some hits, then yeah, you pull him. But that doesn't mean you should have, that doesn't mean that, you know, in hindsight, oh, I should have pulled him earlier. No, you rode the hot hand until it cooled off. But you don't pull him before you know that happens. This is the postseason, bro. You're trying to go to a World Series and win this thing. You can't coach and manage scared. You can't do it. And I think Aaron Boone choked. I think he choked tonight, as he's done plenty of times throughout his Yankees tenure as manager. He's choked because he relies so much on what the numbers tell him. Where's your feel for the game? You played. He played. He got us to the World Series. He knows what it's like to be a player and get hot or, you know, not have your best stuff, but you're still out there. He knows that. And again, this is why I say it's a baseball issue solely because analytics have made this game a computer game where it's guys get barely into the fifth inning and you get pulled. Like 102 pitches in 6 innings. Like that's, unless the guy's having a bad inning, that wasn't happening 10, 15 years ago. And I don't want to sound like an old guy, I'm not. But I'm just saying, like, this is why baseball has that issue because you got guys throwing 100 pitches in 4 innings, 5 innings, 6 innings. That never used to happen. You get to 100 pitches, you're in the eighth inning. You're in the ninth inning. Like, but now guys are throwing so much, and, you know, the way the game is, you know, called now when it comes to balls and strikes, you know, and walks and, you know, all this other stuff, guys are hitting for power. So it's a swing and a miss or it's a homer. And, you know, I just feel like the game is it's being played in a way that, well, like I said, you know, it's a numbers game. You're no longer playing for the feel of the game. You're not playing for, hey, I know this guy is dealing and he's pitching well. I'm going to keep him in. I trust him. That shows a lack of faith in your guy. And that's your ace. Well, one of your aces, because, you know, Cole's out. But, like, that's your ace. That's your one guy. If there was any game to leave him in, it was tonight. There was any game to say, you know what, I trust you. We're gonna go with you. We're gonna live and die by you. We trust you. That didn't happen tonight. Boone got scared and he pulled the trigger. And unfortunately, the clip was empty. That's what happened, if I can use that metaphor. But I just think, like, I don't know. And then again, the ninth inning, we loaded the bases up. You know, Chapman's on the mound, and it's like, all right, we're gonna get him. Like we loaded the bases. Who doesn't score when that happens, right? Well, unfortunately, we didn't score. And on top of that, the crazy thing is, like, that was the first time in history that happened where we loaded the bases and didn't score and we lost. We're the first team to load the bases and then get three straight outs to lose the game. That's never happened. Never happened. Situational hitting didn't happen. Not every hit has to be a home run. It could be a knock on single, a fly ball, a bunt. If they had bunted, I'm not gonna lie. I don't think I've seen a bunt in a game in so long. I forgot what it looks like. But if the Yankees had tried to bunt, just show some creativity, you know? Pinch hit somebody, say, listen, go in there, bunt the ball. You might get out, but it'll throw them off rhythm because we can't get a hit. So we got to put bat to ball, right? Something. No. What happens? No, we're just gonna swing for the fences, and they kept striking out, and they kept getting out, and it was like, what are we doing here, guys? What are we doing? And like, I don't know. It's just it's frustrating because again, we scored one run, bro. One run. That's not gonna get it done unless your guy's dealing, and he was, but then he got taken out. And like Weaver, like what? Listen, I know Weaver was good last year. He was great last year, right? But this is not last year. And having faith in your guys is important as a manager. Yes. In any sort of leadership position, having faith in your guys is a factor and it's important. But you also have to know your guys and say, okay, he's not good at this job. He's not good at this job. He is, but he has an attendance issue, so I'm not going to pick him because I can't rely on him because of his availability. But I know he's good at this job, right? So who do you go for? You go for the guy that you trust and you know to get you out of the situation. And in this case, Aaron Boone went to the guy that has been struggling this year. Weaver has not been good this year. I'm sorry. He has not been good this year. He didn't need to go up in that situation. And it cost it. It cost the game. Aaron Boone cost us the game more than anything. Like if he had left Freed in, I'm sure Freed would have gotten out at least to the seventh, eighth inning, right? And then you put your closers in, right? Your bullpen in, but not in the sixth. Like I don't know. All I know is we got to win. We better win. We better win today. We better win game two because if not, this is gonna be a real uncomfortable off season. Real uncomfortable. You lose to your rival. You got outmanaged. Your players didn't come through. Your bullpen. I said before the game yesterday, the bullpen has to be a factor and has to carry us after the sixth inning, and it didn't. It failed. So if we lose this series because Aaron Boone forgets how to trust his players and you know just forgets how to do his job, then he's got to go. I'm not going to start that whole Boone has to get fired train because it's still early. We can still win this series, and we can still do great things. But we got punched in the mouth tonight. We got absolutely smoked. The Red Sox played their card and won. To use poker terms, if you're playing cards or Texas Hold'em, you know, we had a straight. We thought maybe we got three or four of a kind. And the Red Sox said, you know what? Royal flush. That's what happened. They pulled aces. And we had tens. Like, that's what happened. Or it's like you have a bet that you know is going to cash out, right? And you see the line and you're like, all right, it's looking good so far. And then somewhere along the way, you lose faith in that bet. And you pull out, you cash out. But then you find out later, if you had stuck with it, you would have won. And that's what happened tonight. And again, it's just insane. Like, you pulled him early, and then you went to the guy that's been struggling. It's not even like, I don't know. I mean, Boone made a lot of mistakes tonight. The pinch hitting, defensive replacement decisions in the ninth. You, I don't know. Tonight was just bad by Boone. Like, and he has to own it. He has to own it, and he has to go to the guys and say, listen, that one's on me. I lost that game. He has to. Because you can't tell me that guys aren't losing faith in him. I'm sorry. Like, I know he's a player's coach. I know he's a player's manager, and he's cool and all that stuff. He's personal, and, he has a lot of faith in his guys, and he trusts them. I get that, and that's important. But so is game management. And Boone has shown, I don't care that they got to the World Series last year, Boone has shown he's not capable in game management. I'm sorry. He's not good at that. I don't know what it is. Some guys have it, some guys don't, but you got to keep your cool and not play your hand. And Boone played his hand early. You know, he played his hand early and it cost him. And now they got to go back and hopefully win game two. And listen, now the Red Sox, they're playing with house money. I mean, the Red Sox, they weren't supposed to be in this situation. They were supposed to get swept. No, now they're up 1-0. And they're thinking, well, shoot, we got him in game one, and that was their best pitcher. Yeah, we put ours out too, but we got them. And we got the win. So that was it. They're playing with house money. Whether they win or lose this series, the Red Sox can say, you know what? We got them in game one when no one expected us to. So the Yankees got to come out game two and really put some pressure on them. Make them make decisions. Make them say, all right, we got to go to our bullpen early. We got to take the fight to them. And I don't, like I said, it's weird because when I was live earlier and I was going over the keys to the keys to the game and trying to talk about you know, what the Yankees had to do to win the game. In the back of my mind, I kept thinking, yeah, but the Red Sox could still win this game somehow. And you know, I I mean, I went with the Yankees because that's my team, ride or die. But did I trust them? No. Well, no, I did. I trusted the players. Didn't trust the manager. I didn't trust Boone because I said if Boone takes out Freed early, or if he doesn't do this, or if he goes to his bullpen, he's got to pick the right guys. And he didn't pick the right guy, and it cost him. So I don't know. But what I do know is that game two is massively important. Game two is must win because if not, your series is over. It's as simple as that. The series is over if they lose game two. And we can't afford to do that. After the season we had, Judge MVP season, like, we can't lose this game. I'm sorry. We cannot lose it. All right. Now listen, we got Rodon tomorrow. Rodon has been, well, he's been pretty good this year. 18 wins, which is incredible, right? ERA just above 3. So I trust him. The Red Sox are bringing out Brian Bello, who's 11-9, who has a 3.35 ERA, right? Not too bad. But I just know we got to win. Rodon has to deal, just like Freed did tonight or yesterday. You know, go at least 6, 7 innings, strike out 5 or 6, and hope and pray that the bullpen comes through this time. I don't want to see Weaver tomorrow or today. I don't want to see Weaver on the mound at all. I don't. He cannot be in this game today. If he's in this game, we're losing. I'm sorry. I have no faith in him. None. Boone has to just manage the freaking game right. If Rodon is dealing, keep him in. He won't. I know how it's going to go. Rodon will probably pitch 5 innings. He'll probably have 4 strikeouts. And Boone's going to pull him and go to his bullpen. And it's like, here we go again. But the Yankees offense has to show up today. Stanton has to make up for it tonight. Judge has to do better. You know, I want to see Ben Rice in the lineup. Listen, I'm not saying we're gonna win and lose based off of if he plays, but he's another bat that's been dealing, bro. How do you not have him in the lineup? How do you not pinch hit for Get him in the game, bro. Like he's been one of our best hitters down the stretch. Well, really all year, but definitely down the stretch. The Yankees have enough offense to win this series, to win this game, but we can't chase pitches. We can't make stupid decisions with base running, and we just gotta play smart. We gotta play smart, you know. So I don't know, but as I said, guys, Yankees lose tonight. It's a tough one, um, especially when you had confidence they would win. But listen, man, baseball is a funny sport. Weirder things have happened, so we just got to get the wins tonight, and extend the series and win Game 3 and win this best of three. Because I'm telling you, we lose this series, it's gonna be a long off season. It's gonna be a very long and uncomfortable off season for us because like there's no way this team was supposed to win the World Series or at least get there. But you know, we'll see. But appreciate you guys. Make sure you like and subscribe and comment down below your thoughts. What do you think are the keys to Game 2 for victory? Like I said, it's gonna be Rodon and Bello, and the game starts at 6:08 in Yankee Stadium, so we're at home. So we got to win this game. That's all I can say. If we lose, the series is over, and like I said, we're having some very uncomfortable conversations. So we'll see how it goes, guys. But thank you for listening. Appreciate it. And take care. See you on the next video.